Well, good afternoon folks, and welcome to the second of this week's reviews videos. My name is Lee, your virtual airline pilot, back with you again. Welcome to the channel and welcome to any new subscribers or new viewers. We are back in Asia. We're in South Korea, and you're looking at Seoul Incheon International Airport in Korea, Romeo Kilo Sierra India. Now before we go any further, I have to tell you there is a change to today's plan. I was originally going to review Incheon International Airport by a new company called LE Aero Design. That was my plan, but then when I had a look at it, I spent a good hour looking over the airport and realised just how not much good it is. I mean, it's okay, it's got everything you want, but the ground is all photo scenery and it's extremely low resolution, and to be honest it didn't look very good at all. And I'd kind of forgotten that I actually had the PACSIM version. So today I'm going to have a look at the PACSIM version. I haven't reviewed it and I think it's time to review it because it's good. And to be honest, looking at the ground quality here, you can see the terrain is photoreal, but it's a much higher quality, much higher resolution, which makes the airport look so much better, particularly in areas like this with the car parks and the railroads and the buildings. And here you can see the terrain, the grass and everything is so much better because it's a higher resolution. It also includes parts of the city, the bridges, lots of outlying bits and pieces. It's an amazing airport in a huge amount of detail, actually so much more detail than the LE Aero version that I was going to review. And to be honest, it's about €2 more. So today then we're going to review Seoul Incheon International Airport, but we're not going to be looking at the LE Aero version because to be honest I was pretty disappointed with it. I mean it's okay, it's better than the default and it has what you need, but it looked, to be honest, it looked so bland. Whereas the PACSIM version, to be honest, is hugely improved, and I will make references to the improvements as we go along. So here we are then, Seoul Incheon International Airport by PACSIM, changed to the original review I was going to do. It's Romeo Kilo Sierra India. This is the payware version by PACSIM. It's only available from their website. This is version 1 for the PC version of PACSIM 2020. Again, no mention if it's available for Xbox. It's a big download, it's 11 gigs and it installs 11.7 gigabytes, so it's about 6 or 7 gigs more than the LE Aero version, and I guess that's partly because of the higher resolution of the ground scenery, which to me looks so much better. So it's available only from the PACSIM website, www.islandsim.com/Incheon International. I'll put the web link up in the description below as well so you can see it. So prices for the PACSIM version, €27.47, which is $28.99 US, or £25.32. So it's at the higher end of the pay scale, but believe me, you get a lot for this. Euro and UK prices are estimates. You buy the scenery from their website in US dollars, and the estimates do not include VAT or tax. I actually can't see whether they do, so I've decided not to include VAT and tax. And that of course may vary depending on your country of purchase. As I said, only available from PACSIM, PACSIM. I'll put the website link up and I'll put it in the details below. So apologies if any of you were expecting to see a review of the LE Aero version. To be honest, I spent half an hour, 40 minutes looking over it and just really wasn't impressed. When you look at an airport like this, it's just, you know, it's begging to have something really good in terms of detail, certainly for the high price they want for it. So let's look at the list of features in this new PACSIM version, which actually came out around about the time that some Service Update 10 for PACSIM 2010 came out. Obviously we're in version 11 at the moment, but I've obviously got it running here with version 11 with no problems at all. So product features. Latest SIM update was tested to Service Update 10. Accurate Terminal 1 and new Terminal 2 buildings, concourse, hangars, towers, freight buildings and airport layout. Accurate Songdo City and major parts of Incheon City buildings and skyscrapers. Custom animated jetways. 3-type visual docking guidance system programmed to all gates at Terminal 1, Safe Dock, Terminal 2, AIDA, and Concourse, Honeywell. Latest high-resolution 7cm to 30cm pixel ortho imagery, replacing the MS version, and it covers the whole Incheon island. Accurate hand-placed autogen vegetation that conforms with city, town, district, parking and farm grids. Incheon Bridge connecting Incheon International Airport, Yangon Island, with the mainland, South Korea's longest bridge. Fully optimized for smooth simulation experience, new taxiways, runways, new overnight north parking, new de-icing zones at the north and midfield, new cool cargo centre for refrigerated freight at midfield, added realistic coastlines using correct blending techniques, added the wharf, fuel tanks, farms and buildings at coastal areas near Songdo and Incheon Island, added buildings and high-rises at Incheon Island and near the airport, added airport fire station, south, east and west areas of the airfield, added the airport catering buildings and service maintenance buildings, added grunge work showing tyre markings on the runways and taxiways and much more. So there's an awful lot of work that's gone into this. So as I said, this is a higher price at the top end of the market. But you can see by the feature list there the work that's gone into it, and it doesn't only go onto the airport, they've done so much in the outlying areas. So as ever, let's start with some history. So, Incheon International Airport, Romeo Kilo Sierra India, sometimes referred to as Seoul Incheon International, is the largest airport in South Korea. It is the primary airport serving the Seoul capital area and one of the largest and busiest airports in the world. The airport is a public use facility owned by the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transport and operated by Incheon International Airport Corporation. The airport has a golf course, spa, private sleeping rooms, an ice skating rink, a casino, indoor gardens, video game centre and a museum of Korean culture. Airport's average departure takes around 19 minutes with arrivals at just 12 minutes, as compared to the worldwide average of 60 minutes and 45 minutes respectively, ranking the airport among the fastest airports in the world for customs processing. Its duty-free shopping mall has been rated the world's best for 3 years in a row in 2013 by Business Traveller magazine. Incheon International Airport also reports a 0.0001% baggage mishandling rate. So got a good chance of keeping your baggage at this airport. So the airport opened for business in March 2001, replacing the much older Gimpo International Airport, which now serves mostly domestic destinations and shuttle flights to several East Asian metropolitan airports, including Beijing capital, Osaka Kansai, Shanghai, Taipei and Tokyo Haneda. The airport itself is located 30 miles or 48 kilometers west of Incheon city centre on an artificially created piece of land between Yangon and Yeonggu Islands. The two islands were originally separated by a shallow sea. This area has now been reclaimed for the construction project, effectively connecting the once separate Yangon and Yeonggu Islands. The reclaimed area, as well as the two islands, are all part of Junggo and administrative district of Incheon. I apologise for my pronunciation in advance there. After the 1988 Summer Olympics, international air traffic to Korea increased markedly. In the 1990s, it became apparent that Gimpo International could not cope with the increase in air traffic, and so to reduce the load on that airport, the government decided to build a new airport. This new airport was originally to be located in Cheongju, just 77 miles or 124 kilometers southeast from Seoul, but due to its distance, this selection was opposed by Seoul and Gyeonggi citizens. Hwasong was the other choice, but it was also rejected for similar reasons. Finally, the area chosen was Incheon. In November 1992, the construction of the airport began on reclaimed land and took 8 years to finish, with an additional 6 months for testing. Completion was initially scheduled for 1997, but delayed due to the economic crisis. Airport was officially opened on the 21st of March 2001. Airport has 2 passenger terminals, over 70 passenger airlines, serve the airport, and over 35 cargo airlines operate into and out of Incheon International. The year 2019 saw the airport handled over 71 million passengers and 2.7 million tons of freight. So that about does it for history. Let's now lower the light and have a look at the runways here at Seoul Incheon. So Incheon International Airport in South Korea operates 4 runways: 33 right, 15 left, 33 left, 15 right, 34 right, 16 left, and 34 left, 16 right. All the runways are constructed from asphalt, and the airport lies at an elevation of 23 feet or 7 meters. The 2 easternmost runways are 33 left, 15 right, and 33 right, 15 left, and we're looking down the throat of 33 left and right now. 33 left here, 33 right here. Both runways are identical in length, measuring 12,303 feet or 3,750 meters. Of the 2 western runways, 34 right, 16 left is the longest of the 2, measuring 13,123 feet or 4,000 meters in length, whilst runway 34 left, 15 right, the westernmost runway, measures the same as one of the others, 12,303 feet or 3,750 meters. All 8 runway ends feature high-intensity runway lighting, airfield lighting system with sequence flashing lights, touchdown zone lighting, an instrument landing system, each of the 4 ends certified to Category 3 low visibility landings, and RM pre-approach options as well. Runways 15 left and right, which are the northern ones here, the other end of these runways, also feature a visual approach option known as HANI Visual. Up until December 2023, this airport is trialling a new weight turbulence separation minima project, and you need to see the charts, the full AIP charts, for information on this. Most of mine's been taken from the Navigraph charts. Runway 33 left, right, and 34 left and right, that's these 2 and the other 2 here, are the preferred runways for landing and takeoff, so long as the tailwind does not exceed 8 knots. As I said, Incheon Airport has substantial procedures and chart details for these, and pilots will really need to have a close look at the charts and the AIP if you're going to operate into and out of this airport in reality, so make sure you read the procedures. So as I said, we're looking down the throats of 33 left and 33 right here. As you can see, we've got the sequence flashing lights, touchdown zone markings on both runways, centerline, PAPIs on the left side, and good high intensity runway lighting here. Let's switch westerly to the 34 left and right. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 34 left and right, the 2 westernmost runways. And again you can see we've got sequence flashing lights, centerline lighting, touchdown zones, and the full lighting in the PAPIs. Let's have a look at the other end of 34 left and right. Let's go to 16 left and right. So here we are looking down the throats of 16 left and 16 right, looking towards the south, the 2 westernmost runways. As you can see, everything as per the charts and as per the other 3 ends. Let's a quick look at 15 left and right. So here we are, runway 15 left and right, and again everything as it should be, well lit. All of the facilities you need to make landings in low visibility. Remember, all 8 runway ends are Category 3 certified for low vis operations. And it's these 2 runways, runway 15 left and right, that have the visual HANI approach option as well. So that about does it for runways. Let's have a look at jetways and do a jetway test. So here we are then, stand 26 on the passenger terminal 1, which is the big one at the south end. I've left it at the dusk hours. I thought we'd make for a change. Instead of doing it during the day, we'll do the jetway test in the evening. I'll show you in a minute when I remove the tug, but the aircraft is spawned onto the stand pretty much perfectly, so that's a plus for this scenery. So now let's try the jetway. So there it goes, the wheels are turning. Notice that the stairs don't go down into the concrete, which is another real plus. That looks like it's going to be a pretty good seal. So let's have a close-up look and see whether it's gone through the skin. So that looks to be a pretty good seal. It's probably one of the best seals I've ever seen. Let's look from the other side. And there you can see there's just the smallest gap there, where there's a little just gap at the bottom of the footbridge to the doorway. Let's see if we can get inside the doorway and have a close look. So as you can see, the end of the jetway is actually closed up, which is a real pity. However, if we move forward through the barrier, there you can see that's probably one of the best jetway seals I've seen in any scenery so far. I think the only disappointment is that they've got the door closed. It would have been nice that when the jetway activates to see whether the door actually opens so you could see the doorway to the aircraft right down the jetway. But then I've yet to see that in a scenery. But this is probably the best door connection, jetway connection I've seen so far. So kudos to PACSIM for getting this right. Okay, let's remove the jetway. There's always a slight delay when it actually moves away. But look, you can see all of the hydraulics working here and the wheels, and the stairs don't go into the concrete, which is really good. And finally, if I remove the tug, you can see exactly where the aircraft's positioned. Bear in mind that I spawned onto stand directly from the flight simulator menu. The tug finally gets out of the way. Okay, there we go. So it's positioned on the wrong mark because the A320 mark is there. However, it's perfectly positioned on the center line, and it's on one of the marks, and as you've seen, the jetway's had no problem at all in connecting to it. So that, I think, is pretty impressive. So that about does it for jetways, and well done PACSIM for getting a jetway that works really well, connects really well, and yeah, just looks the part. Very, very impressive indeed. So let's go back to the daytime now and have a look at the airport itself, and have a good look at it. Once again, this is the PACSIM version of Seoul Incheon. I decided not to look at the LE Aero version because, to be honest, I really wasn't impressed with it at all. Generally it's okay, but it just wasn't terribly impressive. The photo scenery was such low resolution. And I kind of forgot that I had PACSIM, and so I decided to review it. So let's go and have a look during the day and have a look over this airport and see the detail. Okay, so I thought we'd begin by doing a west to east tour, coming across the threshold to runway 34 left and right, looking north. You can see the runway and the ground and grass detail is really, really good. The ground detail is a much higher resolution. Runway markings are excellent. All looks really impressive. So the ground markings here on the taxiways, they've included almost every ground marking you can think of here, whereas the other scenery was so bland in terms of its ground markings. But here you can see the gates. This is what you pilots are going to be interested in. Loads of detail, lots of ramp clutter, various bits and pieces. The terminal's modelled really nicely. We will look inside later, but I just want to show you how well detailed this is. I mean, it's pretty stunning. We've included loads of clutter and as I said, the taxiway, apron and ground details are very extensive, and to be honest, they were almost missing in the other scenery. It's really impressive here. So we're looking at the eastern side of Passenger Terminal 1 at the southern part of the airport here. Just continuing to have a look at the airside ramp and the detail that you're going to find here. You're spoiled for choice as a pilot. It's just stunning, absolutely stunning. I mean, the building detail, even on the outlying buildings, is incredible. And to be honest, we haven't even got to the airports, the off-airport stuff, which I probably won't have time to look at in this review, but they've done a huge amount of work. So going across to the eastern side, there's runway 33 right. Just slow down a bit here. Here we're coming to the cargo facility. Again, lots of detail, lots of attention to detail. and road tunnels down there as well. You can see the road tunnel to the left. I don't know if it's blocked, it probably is, but it does look good. It looks the part, and that's the important thing. So here we are, quick tour of the cargo area. Again, loads of attention to detail. Can't wait to see what this looks like in the dark hours. But this is what I like. You see, even here, the grass, no photo real as such. It's really high resolution polys. Done a really good job so that the ground really looks realistic. So here we are looking at the other side. Cafe Lufthansa. As you can see, the detail is really great. They've gone to such a high level of work and detail here. Your cargo haulers are going to be sport for choice. So we skirt across the top of the buildings here. Here you've got more cargo DHL option there. Some nice cars. Foliage is good. They've done a nice job on putting the trees where they should be. No overlaps, which is very impressive. I mean, wherever you look, the detail is incredible. They've done an amazing job here. So heading northeast here, coming across more buildings. Okay, the ground resolution is slightly lower here, as you can see. And this is about what it was in the LE Aero version, pretty much all over the place. So it looked pretty terrible. But here you can see it's increased slightly and it looks better. Here we get to the fuel farm. But again, this is of a lower resolution, but it's not as low as the other version. Over to this side, as you can see here, now we're at the higher resolution ground and it looks so much better. Couple of maintenance hangar here, Asiana Airlines. Korean Air, open hangar there. Okay, so here we've got a road bridge, and unfortunately have the same problem that so many sceneries have, where the cars go over the top of the bridge instead of underneath it, which is a pity, but there you go. But again, nice attention to detail wherever you look. Everything down to watermarks on the ramp caused by rain. And this part of the airport, which obviously would look pretty bland, is livened up a bit by decent ground markings, rubber marks, oil, and various vehicles all over the place. And here they've got the water drainage system, just as it should be in the scenery. They had them in the other scenery project, but actually there was no water in them at all. Here's the flags. As you can see, loads of detail here when you get out here. Okay, time to look at the central area. I was a bit perplexed by these. I thought, well, how can you have these not connected to anything? But actually they're bus gates. So here we are coming along to Terminal 2. Okay, you've still got a bit of low resolution ground polygons here, but the rest of it works quite well. And again, quite nice detail here. Would have been nice to see a few cars, but you know, to a great extent I'm not really complaining because they've done so much detail everywhere else. And a quick pan over the landside area a little bit more. As you can see, they've done a lovely bit of work on it, on the car parks and the buildings here, fitting into the high-res photo ground. It just looks better. Okay, you pilots are not going to see this and you're probably not interested, but it does look better, and that's the important thing. As I said before, I thought these were a bit strange, but actually they're off-airport gates with jetways, which then connect to the aircraft, and the passengers go down to be met by a bus here that takes them along the road to the central terminal. Really impressive that was. Again, plenty of detail, everything down to the oil marks on the ground here. Beautiful. Well, at least you can see out through the shaded glass. Okay, nothing's been done inside, but the interior visual outside is as it should be. And as you can see, the aircraft stands and the surrounding area looks amazing. So we cut across to the concourse, which is located in the centre, and we're looking south now. There's yet another control tower. Again, you can see through the glass. Nothing inside, but the glass looks correct as it should be. I mean, the whole ambience, the look and feel of this airport during the day blows the other version away. I'm really sorry, I didn't mean to start comparing the two, and generally I've not done that in too many sceneries. But you've got two payware versions of Incheon out now with around about a €2 difference, both high prices. And to be honest, PACSIM has done the job for me. So now we're in Terminal 1 again, and here we're going landside, and you can see just how much work has been done here too. Everything down to the railway station here. No animated train. That's probably one thing I'd like to see in this, just to set this off. See, they've detailed the station so nicely, and it all looks really so good, but no animated train. Which can be done. It's been done in a couple of other sceneries, a number of other sceneries actually. But here we get to some of the hotels at the southern end. And again, lots of attention to detail. They've done a great job in the way it looks. Can't wait to see this in the darkness hours. As you can see, the train goes all the way around the other side here. Would have been nice to see an animation of this. Very nice indeed. Good quality buildings. Okay, the resolution's a bit lower here. But all in all, we are looking at quite a quality scenery. Shed loads of work's gone into this. I love the way this all works too. Okay, the higher you go, the better it looks, and it gets a little bit lower resolution here than it is there. But to be honest, it works, and it works really well. You know, the frame rates are fluid. It's really good. And as I said, they've done some extensive work off airport too. Here you can see, I mean, the view looks beautiful in the daytime when it's clear like this. Bridges and everything have been developed and properly assigned. And there's the huge bridge that connects this island to the mainland. And again, you've got there, as far as I can remember from the features list, they've done some work in here to upgrade some of the buildings, the default stuff, to make it look better. Got a couple of ships here. I mean, the whole off airport looks really good. Right, so let's lower the light down now and have a look at Dusk and see what the lighting's like. Okay, so it's 20 to 6 in the evening now, and I think I've caught it just about as the lighting's about to turn on. So we get a chance to see how subtle the lighting is and what might be lit and what isn't. But here we've got a lovely evening view. Some of the sunset is actually reflecting off some of the buildings. And there's the sun dipping below the horizon, as we can see. And looking out towards the main bridge connecting to the mainland and the city in the distance. Okay, so let's start an evening tour across some of these hotels, heading north, basically across the airport, and having a look at the various lighting options on the ground and the ramp. First thing I can notice is there are lots of lights. Okay, Not so many Asobo globes at all. Most of the lighting appears to be correctly from the right light poles. So going this way here, you can see the ramp looks pretty good. Lighting's provided by the light poles. I just drop down a bit so you can see the stands. To the left you can see blue airfield edge lighting, yellow taxiway signs. Beautiful stand lighting here, not really a problem at all, which I think gets better as the light drops lower. And there's a nice sort of slow fast look at the terminal. You can see inside. We will look in later on. So green centerline lights pretty much everywhere, blue airfield edge lights. The ramp lighting looks quite good. And here you can see inside the terminal. Let's slow down and just go through the glass. As you can see, internal development of a really high order too. McDonald's, anybody fancy a burger? Very nice indeed. Probably my only criticism is the lack of people. Don't know if we'll find any people anywhere else. But this looks good. This looks really nice. Very high quality, very well modelled. Let's pop outside again. We've got this beautiful glow out through the semi-misted glass. So just tracking along some of the stands here. This really is for the benefit of the pilots. This is what you're going to see. And it's great. It's really good. Got to be flying in here a lot more. Can't understand why I didn't do a review of this before now. I've had this PACSIM scenery for a little while. Well, I haven't done a review. But here you can see just how good it is. And I'm sorry, but it blows the other one right away. Really does. So let's just have a little skim around and have a look at some of the taxiway signage. As you can see, the signage looks great. No problem at all. Signs are well lit, they're well placed. Looking at the charts I've got in front of me, they're accurately placed too. Runway signage. No wigwags unfortunately, but I don't know if this airport has wigwags at all. Let's have a look at the other side. So we're crossing one of the runways now. As you can see, it's excellent. No complaints. Signage everywhere, so you'll know exactly where you are when you get off the runway. It's very good. So let's have a quick look over the cargo area at Dusk. As you can see, you cargo pilots are well catered for here. Plenty of signage. So as you can see here at the cargo area, your cargo pilots are well catered for. Stands are good, parking's easy, plenty of light, and it looks pretty realistic too. It's done a nice job, and even the vehicles are the right colour. You've got Korean Air colour vehicles with the markings on them. I mean, that's real attention to detail. Cargo lifts, everything here. And the buildings are really nice quality. They're simple, but the quality of the modelling makes the simple building look more effective, I think. And there you can see landside of the cargo area. And in the distance you've got the city. Well, the whole thing looks wonderful. This is a great scenery. Come across to the other side. Again, you can see plenty of lighting. There's the Lufthansa. and other cargo facilities. Looking to the right there in the distance, you've got more work on the buildings off airport. So a quick pan from the cargo area back towards the centre. Again, it just looks really good. The detail is incredible. Hardly any asobo globes around, which is good, but plenty of signage on the buildings that's lit at night. It just looks really good. I want to have a look at one of these control towers and see whether they've got any lighting on them. So going back across the runways now towards the central area. So it's going to slow this down a little bit. You can see there's detail inside the terminal through the windows there as we pass over. Doesn't appear to be anything in the tower apart from the bottom bit being lit by some of the lighting. But let's just go up and have a little look. A number of towers at this airport. Okay, so nothing in the tower, no lighting. But coming across to these unusual sort of coaching gates here, you can see even they're lit too. But nothing but praise for the modelling here. As we come back towards the central area here, Terminal 2, here's the landside part. As I said, it's a bit devoid of people and vehicles apart from those in the car park here. But it's okay. The rest of it works, to be honest. It works quite well. So let's enter the terminal landside. I'm not sure there's much in the way of development here. I think most of the development there that is in the terminals is from airside. But the modelling is of a high quality. There we are, we've gone inside the building. And there you can see the sunset coming through the glass. Let's just go to the wall and see what we find. Okay, so we've got some modelling here with the departure gates. I mean, not a lot, but it's quite effective. And here we are on the ramp. And here, as you can see, we've even got baggage inside these dollies. Now it's a photograph, but even coming up quite close to like this, it still looks pretty real. I mean, that's quality. And here, coming up to the terminal there, where we have seen some development, I'm just going to go inside and have a look at the extent of it. Lovely view through the glass here as we go inside. Dunkin' Donuts, and again, it all works because this image here is of such a high resolution that it works, it looks real. So we just take a trip down the terminal here. Minimal modelling, no people, which is a pity. People really would have made it. Burger King there, that looks really good. But plenty of gates and stands. I mean, they've done a nice job. It's such a huge project. I'm not surprised that they haven't modelled this as fully as it could have been. It's such a huge project and such a massive amount of detail that they put into this anyway. I'm just amazed that they've got these little shops and cafes looking so good. So finally, there's a nice evening shot looking south over Terminal 1 and the ramp areas and the hotels and various developments landside. They look really good. Let's drop it down to night now and have a look and see how much the lighting comes up. Okay, just after 9 PM local time, and as you can see, the lighting has come up, but still plenty of light, plenty of centerline lights, everything to get you into your stand in the total darkness. Looks really quite good. And looking southeast there towards the city and the bridge with the cargo area to the left. And looking northeast, you can see plenty of lighting. Haven't seen any vehicles out of the runway, which is another big plus. And the lighting here is excellent. It's really subtle, but it lights the terminal and everything in the right way. As you can see, the two multi-storey car parks are properly annotated there. Here's the railway, and as I said, would have been nice to see an animated train. That would really top this off. But as we go further landside, you can see the various hotels all beautifully lit. It looks really good. And even the low resolution part here looks really much better at night time. Little bit of parallaxing on the windows of the various hotels here. But it looks good. And just continue the tour here out towards the threshold to runway 34 left and right. Everywhere you look, I mean, the detail's amazing. They've done a really nice job. This airport is for me, it's great. It's, you know, well worth the price. Okay, it's at the top end, but they've done a huge amount of work here. Absolutely massive amount of work. There you can see the PAPIs are working, as are the approach lights. And here we get to see centerline lights and the runway airfield edge lights, which look great. And again, just loads of attention to detail. Brilliant. Okay, so there you go. That's night time. Everything looks fantastic. Let's bring it up to dawn and have a quick look. Okay, just before 5:45 in the morning local time, as you can see, you've still got some lighting left, but the airport starts to sort of come alive a little bit more, bathed in the glow of the sunrise. They're looking towards the bridge and the city. Sun hasn't quite come up yet. A nice view of the off-airport stuff and some of the islands with the moon there in the distance. Okay, so we're back in the daytime and time to give you my conclusions. To those people who are expecting to see the LE Aero design new version of RKSI, Incheon International, my apologies. To be honest, I was not very impressed at all. It looked pretty bland, and they were asking quite a high price for it. I mean, it's acceptable. If you want to buy a payware scenery for this airport, it's acceptable. But to be honest, for another €2 more, with this version by PACSIM, you get so much more detail, so much more ambience and atmosphere about it. Okay, people would have been nice, and the animated train would have been excellent. Those are the two things I'd like to see added to this in version 1.1. But this PACSIM version is the best version of Incheon out there. It way surpasses anything I've seen before, and to be honest, it beats this new other payware version hands down. It's a lovely scenery, some of the best Jetway connections I've ever seen. Some nice internal development, not a lot, but enough to make it look good, and all of the images used are high resolution, so they work. As I said, it'd be nice to see some people. But they've also done a lovely job on the other areas of the airport, both landside and off airport too. Cargo area looks brilliant. You cargo guys are going to have no problems. But I'd like to see an animated train along here just to really touch this off. Night lighting is exceptional. It's been beautifully done. And even on the bland areas of the airport, just the tarmac areas, you can see they've done some amazing weathering. Everything down to the little roads, and the markings are there in abundance. Details are so wonderfully done, right down to the colours of the Korean Airlines vehicles as well. And you can see down here you've got Sky Chefs, Sky Trucks. The detail's just amazing. Lovely night lighting. It's very, very impressive. So if you want to fly into Seoul in South Korea, this is the airport to buy if you're looking for the best, in my considered opinion. So there we are, folks. Seoul Incheon International Airport in Seoul, South Korea. Romeo Kilo Sierra India. This is the payware scenery by PACSIM, not the version by LE Aero Design that I was originally going to review. To be honest, as I said, I wasn't very impressed with it at all. This one that I've had this scenery for a little while, and quite surprised that I haven't reviewed it before now, is so much better. It's a big download, downloads 11 gigs and installs 11.7 gigabytes, so it's a big file. But as you can see, lots of detail both on and off the airport and in the city. It's available only from the PACSIM website, and I'll put up the link for you and also in the description. This version priced at €27.47, which equates to $28.99, which is the actual selling price on the site, which equates to roughly £25.38. All in all, this is about €2 more expensive than the LE Aero Design, but actually it's got like 70-80% more detail. So well worth the price, in my opinion, even though it's at the high end. If you want the top airport for Seoul, this is it. Very, very impressive piece of work. Euro and UK prices are estimates. As I said, the selling price on the site is in US dollars, and they do not include tax or VAT, which of course could vary depending on the country you're in when you purchase it. It's a wonderful scenery. Kudos to PACSIM, done a fantastic job. Like I said, the only criticisms I have, what I would like to see, not so much criticisms, what I'd like to see really, just to top this off, I'd like to see animated train here, because it can be done. And I'd like to see some people scattered through the parts of the terminal that have been developed, and for me that would make it so much better. And maybe a few more vehicles roaming around the ramp, and some more of Asobo's people, I don't know. But all in all, this is a fantastic product and thoroughly recommended. So guys, this is Lee, your virtual airline pilot, back with you again. Thank you for joining me for this review. I'm sorry if you were waiting to see the LE Aero Design version. Like I said, if you really want Seoul in South Korea, payware, this is the one to get by PACSIM. It's a wonderful scenery, thoroughly recommended. So guys, thanks for joining me. Thank you for staying with me on this review, and I hope it's helped you. So take care. This is Lee saying bye for now. I will see you in the next video. So take care and bye bye. Take care. Bye now.